And we're back with another video,
What's
man.
up, guys?
I mean, well, not really back with a video, but today we're gonna be doing a book review. I'm here with
Damon.
and
Kevin.
today we're gonna be doing a book review on a
Joy Luck Club.
Joy Luck Club
By Amy Tan.
Okay, so this book is about 4 Chinese women who immigrated from China to America. And when they immigrated, they all had daughters. They wanted each of their daughters to grow up American instead of Chinese.
The 4 mothers were Su Yan Wu, En Mei Su, Lindo Zhang, Ying Ying St. Clair.
And the 4 daughters are Jing Mei, Rose Jordan, Waverly John, and Lena St. Clair.
This story is set in the 1940s to the 1950s.
During this time, there's a lot of discrimination against immigrants who came to America.
World War II was also going on in the 1940s. It lasted a long time, and because of that, a lot of Chinese immigrants migrated to America, where they also faced discrimination.
Okay, for the summary, we split this book into 3 different sections.
The first section shadows how the parents come to America from China. The immigration at the time was high, and it still is in 2022. But specifically, I want to focus on Su Yan Wu come to America. She is the creator of the Joy Luck Club when she was in China, and she brought it to San Francisco, where 3 other immigrants that came to America in the same fashion really connect.
In the second section of this book, we see the daughters. We learn about each of the daughters. The one, for example, I would say Rose Su. Rose and her family had a lot of problems, I would say. And in one of the stories, we learned that Rose one day was watching her little brother, and she took her eye off of him because there was a fight going on the beach. And when she took her eye off him, the little brother, the 4-year-old brother, drowned in the beach, which is a very unfortunate. I can't even lie to y'all. That shit was funny. wait. Okay, Damon. So what about the third section?
So the last section is about, like, everyone embraces each other. They all come together. And Jing Mei and her mother go to China to, like, find their lost twin sisters. And once they get there, Jing Mei starts to embrace her, like, Chinese culture. Like, in the beginning, they talk about how, like, everything was done the American way, but now they're like showing that they're Chinese and they're Americans, so they're making each other like Chinese Americans.
If I was to rate this book on a scale of 1 through 5, I would rate it a 4. What would you rate it, Damon?
3.
What would you rate it?
A 4. The figurative language in this book is very strong. For example, foreshadowing. I could kind of tell what the outcome of things would be before the book told me.
For me, personally, I rated it a 4 because of the imagery. So, usually when I read books, I like it when they, like, work my imagination. I could imagine the things that's going on. Like, see, like, if somebody was to explain a house, like, I'll be able to have a certain imagination from the description coming from the story.
I give it a 3 because there's a lot of comparison between the marriage and the objects. Like, for example, in the book, they compare the broken vase to Lena St. Clair's marriage.
So, like the metaphors.
Yeah. So I don't really like that, but it's very interesting.
Another reason I rated it a 4, this one is more of a con. I rated this a 4 because I really didn't connect to any of the characters, me personally. But although I didn't connect to the characters, the stories within the book made it interesting, therefore hiring the rating.
I agree.
So,
My favorite character in this book was Jing Mei. Who's your favorite character?
Su Yan Wu.
Su Yan. What about you?
my favorite character is Waverly.
Waverly. Why Waverly?
I think she's the most interesting character. Like, as a kid, she would grow up playing chess, and she became really good at it. But then she realized that she was being separated from her family by playing chess. And once she tried to, like, go back into the family, they wouldn't allow that. They would, like, avoid her, ignore her, and all that. And she got irritated.
What about you? Why do you like Su Yan?
Su Yan really related to me. She's a really strong woman, but sometimes she just finds life hard, and happiness is very small sometimes. And I think a lot of people in this world can relate to that. So I think Su Yan was ahead of her time by expressing all of these thoughts and feelings, because, you know, as of now, like the world we live in now, how big mental health is. And so I think that's why I related to her so much.
Well, for me, I chose Jing Mei because, like, although I don't agree with some of the things and the choices she made in the book, I still understand, like, having the pressure of your parents on your back and you not wanting to do something, but they believe that they want you to be the best at something that you don't want to do, and it's not something that really interests you, and like the defiance that goes against it. So that's why she's my favorite character. Now, me personally, I did enjoy reading this book. Although it was a little slow in the beginning and it started speeding up throughout the book, like the stories were interesting. Like, I found all of the stories interesting, to be honest. I didn't really relate to the characters, but we could also see development in, like, the daughters. Like, for example, Jing Mei. Did you like the book?
I did like the book. The thing that I didn't really like about the book is why I didn't give it a 5. Is because I feel like the author, Amy Tan, just has that woman intake on life that is harder for men to understand. Compared to A Lesson Before Dying, where everything was straightforward, and I could relate to that more. But other than that, I really think the figurative language was strong in the book, which I connected to. And I mean, that's why I gave it a 4. The only thing missing was, it's just not straightforward. So.
Okay, so I gave this a 3. Sorry, Mr. Campbell, it was boring. But it's like a lot of repetition. Like, everyone has the same life. Like, it's like all similar. Then my favorite part of the story is like Waverly's part. Like, she plays chess. Like, she disrespects her mother and like runs away and comes back. But like, I like how like the mother like pushes her away from the family, saying that if she doesn't want to like be with us, she doesn't have to be with us. I like how that changes like during the middle, and she like wants to be part of the family again, so she stopped playing chess in the room, stopped practicing and all that, and wants to be part of the family now. I didn't give it a 5 because honestly I couldn't relate to anything. Like, I'm not a woman, so I don't know like their problems and struggles.
Not only you're not a woman, you're not a Chinese American woman.
I'm not a Chinese American woman, so I don't understand like their process and how they do things because it's different than me because I'm African American.
Okay, guys, thank you guys for watching our book review. Make sure you leave a like,
guys.
subscribe, and comment.
Go!
Hey, man.
This story is set in the 1940s to 1950s. David, bro. This story is set in the 1940s to the 1950s.
So a lot of discrimination against. Skylar. Dude, wait. Just put.
This story is set in the 1940s to the 1950s.
Where discrimination against.
This story is set in the 1940s to the 1950s. Bro, David, I swear to God, we're about to kick. On a scale of 1 to 10, the imagery in the book made me bleep. This story is set in the 1940s. David, I swear to God, bro.